Ever pondered why political rulers often seem more interested in their own wealth and power than in the welfare of their constituents? Today, we delve into the continuity of looting rulers since regime change, a concerning pattern that has dire consequences for the future of their nations. Around the globe, farmers, the backbone of our food supply, are teetering on the brink of destruction. This is no accident, but the result of deliberate policies and actions by those in power. The growth rate, as revealed by import charts, shows a stark reality of declining exports and increasing imports, a clear sign of a floundering economy. Some rulers, like Imran Khan, have implemented policies that have led to a significant reduction in exports, such as wheat, a staple food in many countries. This has resulted in a shocking 51% drop in wheat exports in 2021, a significant blow to the nation's economy. The rulers' policies have encouraged farmers to shift from growing staple crops like wheat to cash crops like sunflowers, coca, and soybeans. This change was supposed to boost exports and bring in dollars to the country. However, it has led to a drastic increase in the import of staples, causing a surge in the cost of living for ordinary citizens. Now, the very same rulers are asking for the return of the exported cash crops because of the escalating prices of staples. The unfortunate irony is that these rulers have made billions from these policies, while the common man struggles to afford basic necessities. The manipulation of the market is evident in the price fluctuations of staple foods. Have you ever noticed a decrease in the price of sugar, wheat, or flour, or an increase, even for a single day? The market forces are manipulated to benefit a select few, often the rulers themselves or their close associates. These rulers, who couldn't win a councilor's election on their own, are supported by powerful entities that encourage looting and corruption. It is estimated that over $1 billion have been siphoned off from Pakistan alone. These rulers advocate for market forces when it suits them, but are quick to manipulate these forces to their advantage. It's a game of power and wealth played at the expense of the common man. In summary, the continuity of looting rulers since regime change has resulted in dire consequences for the nations they govern. Through policies that favor their own wealth and power, they manipulate market forces, causing economic instability and hardship for their constituents. The need for change is clear, for the sake of their nations and the people who call them home.
Did you know that the wheat industry has been a cornerstone of Pakistan's economy for decades now? It's a fascinating story that spans more than 6 decades, from 1960 to 2023. In 1960, the wheat industry was in its infancy, with the country's production barely meeting its own needs. But over the years, as farmers adopted new technologies and practices, wheat production began to surge. By the 1970s, Pakistan was not only self-sufficient, but also had surplus wheat to export. The 1980s saw a further boost in the wheat industry, thanks primarily to government policies that encouraged farmers to grow wheat. This period also witnessed the rise of the flour mills, which played a critical role in processing the wheat and making it available to consumers. However, things took a turn in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Despite the growth in wheat production, the country was forced to import wheat due to a growing population and increased consumption. The situation was further complicated by the fluctuating international wheat prices, which put a strain on the national economy. The year 2019 marked a significant shift in the wheat industry under Imran Khan's administration. His policies led to a drastic reduction in wheat exports from 1,800 metric tons to 350, a staggering 90% decrease. This move was aimed at ensuring that there was enough wheat for domestic consumption and to keep the prices stable. Today, wheat continues to be a staple food in Pakistan, consumed by everyone, rich or poor. It's also a significant part of the country's agricultural economy, providing livelihoods for millions of farmers. This video has traced the evolution of the wheat industry in Pakistan from its humble beginnings in 1960 to the present day. It has highlighted the central role that wheat plays in the country's economy and the policies that have shaped its growth over the years. It also underscored the challenges faced by the industry, from fluctuating international prices to changing government policies. In conclusion, the wheat industry in Pakistan is a critical part of the country's economy. Its growth and development over the years have not only ensured food security, but also created jobs and contributed to the nation's GDP. As we look to the future, it's clear that the wheat industry will continue to play a vital role in Pakistan's economy.
Is Pakistan a playground for the corrupt? How did this South Asian nation find itself wedged so deeply in the quagmire of corruption and mismanagement? The tale begins at the dawn of Pakistan's birth. The seed of corruption planted early on grew into an insidious, pervasive tree, its roots burrowing deep within the fabric of the nation. Successive rulers, rather than serving the public, exploited their positions for personal gain. A culture of corruption permeated every level of government, creating a chasm between the rulers and the ruled, the rich and the poor. The most blatant display of this corruption is the grand looting of public funds. Politicians and bureaucrats have been known to drain billions of dollars through embezzlement, bribery, and kickbacks. Funds intended for essential public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure end up in the pockets of the corrupt, leaving these critical institutions underfunded and ill-equipped. The agricultural sector, once Pakistan's pride, has also been gripped by this unrelenting corruption. The farmers, the heart of the rural economy, are ensnared in a relentless cycle of debt and exploitation. They lack access to credit, modern farming techniques, and fair markets, while the powerful landlords and middlemen profit off their labor. Government policies, rather than aiding the farming community, often end up serving the elite. Subsidies that should go to small-scale farmers often wind up with wealthy landowners. Land grabs and unfair resource distribution further marginalize the grassroots communities, exacerbating the wealth divide. Despite vows of reform, promises to eradicate corruption, successive governments have failed to deliver. Political convenience, vested interests, and a lack of accountability have hindered attempts to address the root causes of corruption and mismanagement. The status quo persists, and the powerful continue to prosper at the expense of the disadvantaged. Nevertheless, the situation isn't entirely bleak. Civil society organizations, grassroots movements, and concerned citizens are increasingly speaking out against corruption, demanding accountability from those in power. Social media and digital activism have given a voice to the ordinary Pakistani, enabling them to rally for change. To escape the grip of corruption and mismanagement, Pakistan needs to commit to real reform and transparency. This is a journey that requires political determination, institutional revamp, and adherence to the rule of law. By empowering its citizens, fortifying democratic institutions, and holding the powerful accountable, Pakistan can set a course towards progress, prosperity, and social justice. In essence, the ongoing pillaging and mismanagement by Pakistani rulers pose a significant threat to the country's future. Overcoming this challenge demands a concerted effort to dismantle corruption, empower marginalized communities, and build a more inclusive and equitable society. This is the only path towards a brighter, corruption-free future for Pakistan.